Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about vitamin and mineral supplements, should you take them, and my personal thoughts. Now please keep in mind, I am not certified in anything when it comes to health and vitamins. I don't have a license, I don't have a degree in this kind of stuff, but I also have been studying this stuff for the past 30 or so years. From the time I was in my teens, clear on through, and now I'm 52 at the time of shooting this video anyway. And it's just been a lifelong thing that I've learned and learned different things all along the way. Now let me start off by saying that when I was in my early 20s, I got big into weightlifting and big, then especially, into taking supplements. And I would take them by the handful. Every morning I would take a whole handful all at once. But at least by that point, the one thing I had learned is the importance of not taking tablets. Tablets are the absolute worst kind of supplement that you can take. There's hardly any nutrients left after the process of making the tablets. And then you've got all the fillers, all kinds of garbage added in there, and the chances are you're not getting anything from it because they're finding these things in septic systems non-digested. So it looks like you're not getting anything. Even if you were fully to digest those tablets, what you're left with is mostly filler and hardly any nutrients. So if you really must go with supplements, I always recommend going with something in a capsule form. Obviously, if you're going to be taking vitamin D, it does have to be in a capsule form. I don't know that it can even be offered any other way. And vitamin D3 is one of those things that you really have to get from animal products, and that's the best way you're going to get it, and from sun exposure. So eating grass-fed butter and raw milk are some of the best ways you can get, as far as a food source, your vitamin D, but also sun exposure. So now if you live in a place like we do, where especially in the wintertime we get almost no sun because it's either cloudy or wet and rainy the whole time, and so it's possible we might need a little bit more of a boost to our vitamin D3, and this is the one that we take when I feel we absolutely have to, but we only take it in the winter, and even then I only take it when I think that we absolutely need it. I do believe that supplements have their place in our lives, but I believe that we put far too much importance on supplements than we do on getting our nutrients directly from our food. Now, yes, I do understand about how our soils are depleted due to all the genetic modifications, the chemical fertilizers, the chemical pesticides, and all that kind of stuff. We've got a lot of other stuff, in our air that doesn't belong there, and things that are really causing some issues with soil depletion. But I personally still believe that if you are growing your own vegetables and food and making sure that you're really adding back to your soil, getting that horse manure in there, getting that wood ash from your wood stove in there, throw that out in your garden. Especially the wood ash is going to add lots of minerals to your garden and help so that when you're getting your veggies and your fruits from your garden, you're getting more minerals in there. So it's about proper care. So I believe it actually can be done, that you can get the vitamins and nutrients that you need from your food sources. So with that in mind, let's say that you're able to grow all of your own food organically, and you feel pretty good about the nutrient-dense foods that you're growing. I still believe that there are those times where supplements have their place. For example, for Mr. Rain and I, when we took ourselves off the thyroid medication and our bodies needed to adjust to that time of after being on them for 15 years and being used to getting our thyroid from an outside source instead of naturally from our own thyroid glands that we had been told were not working correctly, we needed a little bit more in our diet to help our bodies and our thyroids to start doing what they were made to do all along. And yes, you can heal your own thyroid, assuming you still have one and it hasn't been, this isn't dark ages medicine and they haven't removed it for some reason. Unless, of course, it's cancerous. Yes, I understand. It probably needed to come out. But a lot of times they're taking out thyroid glands that do not need to be removed. So if you still have your thyroid gland, you can heal it. I believe that. We were on the medication for 15 years each, and we did it successfully, but there is still an adjustment period. Now, I have a whole video on that where we talk about how we did it. I'll link to that right up here if you're interested. But really what it comes down to, and this is going to apply to any kind of big pharma medications that you're taking that you're trying to get yourself off of, because most of the medications we're on are not necessary, such as high blood pressure medicine and so on and so forth. And one of these days I'll do a video just on high blood pressure and talk about my thoughts on that, and cholesterol. Oh my goodness, we don't need to be on these things, people. Don't forget, your brain is made mostly of cholesterol, so you need cholesterol in your diet. But anyway, but as your body is adjusting to going off the medications, or let's say you are going through some kind of illness, you may need to supplement your diet with extra things and other supplements. So again, I'm going to go back to, if you have to buy store-bought supplements, look for a brand you believe you can trust. Find them in a capsule form. Read those ingredients. Make sure they're actually putting in there what you think they're putting in there. Some of the mistakes we make is we look on a shelf. I did this before. Years and years ago, I was wanting to get more B vitamins in my diet. So I thought, okay, I'll take a B complex, because again, I believe in taking vitamins in their complex form whenever possible. And so I just grabbed this vitamin B complex and started taking it. And through a period of time, I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought I was getting weaker. I was tired all the time. I finally took it. I just happened to one day, I grabbed the bottle down and saw the ingredients, and they had added iron to it. I am thalassemic. I'm not supposed to be taking iron supplements, because when I take an iron supplement, it will do the same thing to me as those who are anemic from not enough iron if they don't get enough iron. And the more iron I take, the more anemic it makes me, and it could eventually kill me. So I'm glad that I saw that when I did. So pay attention to the labels and read them. And I learned a lesson right then and there. It's like, why did I just assume B complex? I assumed it was just going to be B vitamins. I should have been reading that label. So I immediately started taking them. It took time for me to really start feeling better, but it was a progression, a slow progression. Each day I felt a little better when I stopped taking them. So pay attention to that. Again, I just can't reiterate that enough. And again, really look into the companies themselves. I don't honestly believe that you can always get all of the facts and all of the truth about everything, no matter what they claim. Sometimes you just have to take a step of faith and say, you know what, I read what I read, and this is what it says. It's non-GMO, it's organic, it's whatever, and I feel like I can trust that. And then you just have to take a step of faith and do that, like I did here with this. And then the iodine, that's another thing. So we were taking iodine during the time that our bodies were adjusting to not taking an external source, synthetic form of thyroid. And after that, we quit taking it, because despite what some of the things are that you hear, every year they seems like they come out with some new scare, like, oh, you're not getting enough this and you're not getting enough that. One thing you need to pay attention to is every time I see those, and I started really paying attention, every single time it was somebody selling a product. You're not getting enough iodine, so you need to buy my product. Every single time. And they would list all these facts and all this information. Well, you know what I found out? For me, the only time iodine was good for me to take was during that time, and even then I had to be careful about how much I was taking, because it would have the same effect on me as taking too much iron. So just because some doctor's coming out and saying this, or some scientist, or some whoever, pay attention to what they're selling. Even some of the most trusted doctors that I follow, are promoting certain supplements and saying, oh, you need to take this because you're not getting enough in your diet, and then they turn around and tell you their product that they're selling. So pay attention to that. I still like these doctors. I still think they're great. I think they have great information. But just because they say it doesn't mean you need it. So you really got to find out what is best for your own health. Another way, which is the way I most rely on, if I'm going to do supplements for us, it's going to be my own homemade supplements because I know exactly what is going into them. So a video that I just shot was me making this multivitamin and mineral tincture from roots and greens from my own garden. I know how they were raised. I know what was put in the soil. I know it's all organic. I know exactly what is in here. And this is totally from everything grown from my own property, including the apple cider vinegar from our own apple tree. The only added ingredient that wasn't something I didn't get right here from my own property was the sugar used in making the vinegar, which once the vinegar is done, there's no sugar left in it. Now, and I don't have room to grow sugar cane or anything like that, and I'm not sure if it would grow here, but maybe eventually someday we'll figure out a way to have bees so I can start doing it from honey. Because yes, you can make it from honey. Anyway, for me, this is also the least expensive and most sustainable way that we can get more minerals and vitamins into our diet. All from our own garden. Right here is the batch I just filtered out, and this is from last year. I made it from my own greens. I'm actually surprised it's not darker. I think I didn't put as much herbs into the jar that I normally do, like I did here. But you can watch that video on how I made this. I'll go ahead and link to it right up here. And when I take that, we take a shot glass in the morning, and that's it. And you can take more, you can take less, depending on what you think you need. Typically, we don't do this year-round. Usually, I only do it in the wintertime when I think we need it the most, just like with the vitamin D. And now some other ideas for supplements you can make for yourself are the eggshells. Eggshells are high in both calcium and magnesium. And we know, a lot of us know anyway, that you need to take your calcium and magnesium together. You should not be taking calcium capsules or tablets by themselves. They should be taken with magnesium. And this is the other reason why I say it is most important that you get your vitamins and minerals from whole food sources, because they were created to have all these nutrients in that same plant, eaten at the same time, because they work together. It's synergistic. So when you start separating out your different vitamins and minerals and taking them solely, maybe it might help you, but it may also cause far more health problems than it could possibly help with. So eggshells from our own chickens, I powder them up. This is what a lot of times I'll mix it with this, the multivitamin mineral supplement or extract that I make, and then just drink it down. You can also put them in a capsule form if taking something like that is just too nasty for you. And I have done that here in this little bowl here, because Mr. Rain would prefer to take it this way. Like right here is an example of the eggshell supplement, and this one might even have a little bit of orange peel in there for some added vitamin C. And then here is a Moringa capsule. Now we don't grow Moringa, not yet. One of these days I will try. And this one here is turmeric and black pepper. And I'll show you a close-up of these right here in a photo form so you can see what they look like. Now, I will probably be doing another new video on making your own supplements and how I do it. I have an old one out there somewhere, but I will do a new one so you can see how I do it. There's various ways to do it, but what I do use is the non-GMO gelatin capsules. I'll go ahead and link to them below if I can find a link, or at least find something similar to the ones I bought. I stock up on them and use them. Now for me, this is not my most preferred way, just because I have to then rely on buying the capsules. And also, I'm not taking the turmeric and the moringa a whole lot, because we only take these when I feel that we need a little extra boost. Let's say maybe we feel some illness coming on. I might add a capsule of each to our diet daily, and but it's so rare this ever needed like that. So it's better off just to cook with these things, and if you can grow them yourself, better yet. And by the way, Jen, thanks for the turmeric root. Hopefully that's going to work for us. We're going to try growing that again. Anyway, the point is, if you can grow it yourself, that's going to be the best, because it's also going to be the most sustainable. However, if you need to do it like I did here and purchase these because you think these are something you may need, the moringa or the turmeric, I will go ahead and link below to the ones that I bought in the past, and you can check those links out. Oh, and I also have a video on turmeric and do you really need black pepper. I'll go ahead and link to that right up here, but what I will say right off the bat is, depending on how you're using your turmeric, no, you do not always need black pepper. But when I'm making the capsule, I do add black pepper to it, because we may be taking this just like this. We might not be eating the turmeric with anything else. So I do add black pepper to that, just to make sure it's really helping with that bioavailability of the turmeric in our body. But there's other ways you can take turmeric, and when you're eating it and you're adding it to your foods, that for the most part, I don't think you even need to think about it, because there's so many things you can use with turmeric that are going to help it be available in your body the way it needs to be. So I don't think that should be such a big concern. So there are my thoughts and opinions on the supplements. Again, this is going to be totally up to you, your health needs, what you're going through. Are you dealing with some illnesses? Where do you live? Are you in a northern climate like us? Do you think you need a little bit more vitamin D? But I think the real answer, and how you're going to find out the truth, is, how do you feel? Right now, our health is great. We've been feeling great, and so I don't feel the need to always add all these things. The only thing I try to take on a daily basis really are the eggshells, because of this time in my life. I'm menopausal, and I do find that I need that extra calcium and magnesium in my diet, and it staves off the hot flashes and helps keep my teeth in good shape. And because as a lot of us ladies know who are going through this time in our lives, that we tend to lose a lot of calcium. The funny thing is, our hot flashes, calcium is one of the first things that gets leached out, so we need to get it back into our body. And then the magnesium is one of the things that prevents the hot flashes in the first place. So I just had a lot of success with this, and I have a video where I talk more on that. I'll go ahead and link to that right up here. So really use your own health, how you're feeling, as a measure, and use your own judgments based on everything that you're learning along the way, whether it be through me, through Stacy, through Amy Fuel, and all the many great channels and people who have wonderful books out there, Rosemary Gladstar. As you read all these different things and learn about this stuff, and Dr. Josh Axe and Dr. Bergman, and then looking at your own health, if you start using different supplements, really write these things down. Are you feeling any better taking them? If you're not, stop taking them. Find more natural ways of taking them. Your body probably doesn't need it if it's not making you feel better. And again, if you're ill, it's likely you may need to add a little bit more as a boost. But again, I say go with as natural form as possible, as homegrown or locally grown as you can possibly get. Again, buying the powders like this, where it's just turmeric or it's just moringa, and making your own capsules is just an excellent way to do it, to get more of that into your diet. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.